Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Today is the last day before we get started with spring break. But before we get there, we got some things we need to do today in class. So let's get through today and then we're off and running towards spring break, okay? So I just want to go over a couple of things from chapter 22 on Nigeria. First off, with the workbook. But before we get started with the workbook, I just want to go over the agenda for what you need to do today to be successful. So if you look here, the steps that I want you to first work on today is I want you to fill out workbook pages 160 to 161. Now I know we started these yesterday and the various groups were on different parts of the workbook, but here's your chance to make sure that you have the right information for your workbook, okay? So step one, I want you to finish 160 to 161 by listening to this recording. All the information you need to know is right here. Once you're done listening to this portion and filling out workbook pages 160 and 161, you can either get with a partner or yourself, and I want you to make and finish workbook page 162, creating the website. The directions are pretty self-explanatory, so either you can do it yourself or you can get with a partner. If you get with a partner, when you're done, regardless whether you're by yourself or you're with a partner, I want you to bring it up to me so I can check, okay? Then the last thing you need to do is you need to go to Google Classroom to your daily assignments, and you need to do the quizzes that's there on chapter 22. There's one quizzes. So three things. Finish workbook pages 160 and 161 by listening to this presentation and writing down what I give you. Then either with a partner or by yourself, finish 162, start and finish 162. And then when you're done with 162, bring your workbook up to me so I can look at it, give you a grade on it, okay? Which everybody should get 100 on it because I'm grading your effort on making this website. And when you're finished with that, go to Google Classroom to daily assignments and do the quizzes that's located there. Okay, so let's get started with step number one of looking at the workbook pages. I just want to quickly go over, we're going to go over all three different regions. And the first one's going to be the northern region of Nigeria, okay? Looking at the physical environment, you need to make sure you have these key pieces down. That there's a 6-month dry season. It's from October to March. I'm not going to be holding you accountable for those dates, but you need to know that they do have a dry season. The major physical feature they have there is Lake Chad. It's getting smaller than it once was, so make sure you have Lake Chad. And then they have high flat plains that are used for farming. Okay, 6-month dry season, Lake Chad, and they have high flat plains that are used for farming. Okay, so that's the physical environment. The ethnic groups that I want to make sure you understand that the majority of the people there are Muslim, but they do have Christians that live there. Okay, majority Muslim, but they do have Christians that live there. Continuing with the northern region, of looking at the culture in the city, people have houses with flat roofs. In the country, they have round houses made of mud. All right, men wear loose clothes, and the Muslim females wear the hijab, which is a headscarf. The hijab is a headscarf, and the Christian women wear a cloth headdress. Okay. Finally, with the economy, mostly the people are farmers and herders, and the Hausa people, they traditionally made clothing and leather goods. The Hausa people, they traditionally made cloth and leather goods. So that is the northern region of Nigeria. Okay. So do you need to push pause to make sure you have everything down for northern Nigeria? By all means, do that. I'm going to jump to the western portion of Nigeria. Okay, so first I want to deal with the physical environment. It sits on the Gulf of Guinea. All right, the coast used to be tropical rainforest, but the trees have been cleared for farming. It's very interesting that they have cleared those trees to be used for farming. Most of the region is a savanna, which is grasses with scattered trees, and many of the people live in the cities. Okay, used to be tropical rainforest. They've been cleared. The trees have been cleared for farming. Most of the region is a savanna, and the people live in the cities. All right. Next piece we're looking at is the ethnic groups. The largest ethnic group for this area is the Yoruba. All right. Many of them are Christian, though some follow Islam. Okay. The main group here is the Yoruba people, who are mostly Christian, but obviously some of them do follow the religion of Islam. So that's dealing with the physical environment and the ethnic groups of Western Nigeria. Let's jump to the culture piece for Western Nigeria. Many people live in the cities. The well-off, they live in one-story houses or apartment, and the poor live in shacks on the city in the outskirts. So what you need to make sure you take away from there, obviously the well-off, they're going to have their own houses or apartment. Okay, the poor live in shacks that are out in the city outskirts. The Aruba people are known for their colorful cloth and beadwork. All right, finally, with Western Nigeria in regards to their economy, many of the Aruba live in cities and work in factories and offices, but some commute to the countryside to work on farms. Okay, so that's a key piece. Many of the people live in the cities and they work in factories and offices, but some leave the cities to commute back to the countryside to work on a farm. All right. Also, the Aruba, some females also work in street markets. Okay. So that covers the Western Nigeria. Again, if you need to push pause or rewind to make sure you have everything, by all means do that at this time. All right, Eastern Nigeria, to take us home to finish pages 160 and 161. Eastern Nigeria, looking at the physical environment. All right, it also sits on the Gulf of Guinea. The region has the most rainfall out of all of Nigeria. Okay, rainforests used to cover the land, but today it's mostly swamplands along the coast. Okay, and the Niger Delta is rich in oil. Okay, big takeaway: rich in oil. They used to have rainforests, but now it's mostly swamps along the coasts. And this region receives the most rainfall. The ethnic groups. The Igbo are the largest ethnic group, and most of the Igbo are Christian. Okay? And finally, looking at the culture and the economy, we'll first look at the culture piece. Make sure you have it written down. In the cities, homes are built from mud bricks with metal roofs. Men and females who wear colored cloth wrapped around their bodies. And then finally, the economy. This is the takeaway, right? Guess what is their largest economic activity? Can you say it? Which one is it? Their largest economic activity? Got it? Are you there? Oil. All right. Oil is their largest economic activity. And a lot of the oil is run by the foreign oil companies run Nigeria's oil industry, all right? The influence from other nations and these companies, these oil companies, run the bulk of Nigeria's oil industry. And finally, we emphasize this all the time to you, education is used as a way to improve their lives. Okay? Very important to understand that they want to educate themselves because they realize the importance of education. Okay, so important, right? So we've looked at from northern Nigeria to western Nigeria and eastern Nigeria. Oh, we got an announcement.
Please come to the main office.
If that was you, hope you're going to the main office. Anyways, so we've looked at the 3 different regions, filling out pages 160 and 161. Okay, so make sure you have this down. Don't worry about the photographs today. All right. So if you finished 160, 161, okay. Jump to page 162, either do that page by yourself or get with a partner. Either way, whether you do 162 by yourself or with a partner, I want you to come up and show me your workbook page, okay? So finish 162. Then finally, that's step number 2. Step number 3 is to go to daily assignments in Google Classroom. Go to the quizzes on chapter 22 and take that short quiz. It's open book. Open book. All right, hey, I'm ready to go out with a bang. It's Friday, right before spring break. I can't wait. I'm headed, I'm going to do lots of skiing. Laurel Ann's friend from Mississippi is flying up. So we're hopefully going to the Boiling River, maybe the climbing gym, but lots of skiing and some rest. Hope all of you have a great spring break. Thank you for the great attitude that you have had. And be safe over break. And I look forward to seeing you when we come back. Hey, Hawks, Bozeman Hawks, it's in the air. It's in the air. It's in the air. It's in the air.